It's my birthday. Welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here. Now, things that I really want to go over is just reflecting literally everything. It has just been such an incredible year, but the most important thing is my health, right? Be healthy, feel sexy. It's so incredible what each year brings. And honestly, I'm just so grateful to be alive. I am now 32 years young and I love it. So, to start off, is my health. Holy cow, what a year has it been for my health? Somebody that has always been working out, and you guys saw this all throughout my podcast, is I got to the root of my gut, right? I had something that I didn't even think about, especially with how passionate I am about health and fitness and wellness and nutrition, all of it. It goes to show that this is a forever journey and we're always learning, right? We're always evolving. And thanks to that, I actually am now like, I'm feeling my best. I'm my skinniest, my strongest. I'm glowing. I feel my most beautiful. I'm so radiant. And this is all at 32 years young. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is just the beginning. And on top of that, not only with my gut, but I've been able to keep my muscle mass. It is so incredible. And actually, I wrote down the comparison from last year to this year. Let me grab that real quick here. So my weight and changes, and I weighed myself this morning at 108 pounds. And last year today, on my birthday, I weighed 125 pounds. That is 17 pounds difference, you guys, from last year. That's almost a 20-pound dumbbell. So cool, so cool. And then I have the Hume body scale. I have it linked below if you would like to get one. And every week I actually check my muscle mass, my BMI, all of that, because my most important thing here is I don't want to lose muscle mass, and I just want to make sure that I'm losing visceral fat, body fat, all of that, and not just drastically lose bone density, all of that. I'm very, very in tune, and I love checking in. So last year, actually, the closest that I could get was March 5th. At the time, I was doing an in-body scan. I did not have the Hume body scan. So from March 5th compared to today, all right, when I weighed 125 pounds, I had 52 pounds of muscle and I was 26% body fat. Now, when I weighed myself this morning at 108 pounds, I have 44 pounds of muscle. Yeah, 44 pounds out of the 108. That's like almost half my body weight. And 17% body fat. Woo! Oh my gosh. So I have only lost 8 pounds of muscle in 1 year. And I lost 17 pounds. This is so important. And this is just like, I'm geeking out over here because I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so incredible. The scale, right? It always looks different, all of that. But like, yo, look at your girl, dude. I'm actually starting to get cut, like real cut. Like, yeah, look at that. Look how strong I am. Oh, and I'm just so proud. I'm so proud because literally 10 years ago, 22-year-old me, this was the goal. This was the vision I had. And 10 years later, here we are. Okay, so never give up. Be healthy, feel sexy. Seriously, like, I'm just so full of gratitude. Okay, and then let's see. I went down 9% in body fat. Now let's talk about body fat here, okay? That is something that I have been very mesmerized by as well, because when I was bodybuilding for Miss USA back in 2021, I remember like I didn't look this good and I weighed more. So I'm assuming I didn't check like an in-body scan, so I'm not sure. I don't have exact measurements, but just from like the photos that I've seen and how I remember feeling is I had more muscle, but I also looked really tired. And at the time, I didn't fix my gut yet. Okay, I didn't fix my gut. So there was probably stuff going on there. And I was really strong. I will say that. I was really strong. Like I remember my warm up was 10 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and going back to back on that. And that was so cool. I love that. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could do it now if I really push myself, but we'll get into like my whole workout routine here. Maybe in this episode or a different episode. But anyway, it's different. So if I really push myself, I'm pretty sure I could do it, but I haven't been pushing myself. Okay, so back to what I was saying. The body fat percentage, that to me is mesmerizing because I look so healthy. Okay, look, look how healthy I look, all right? I am small. I still have my chest, which I'm very proud of. Back when I weighed 118 pounds for Miss USA, I was losing my chest. I didn't have my chest. And I remember that was when I crossed the line. I was like, I remember looking at myself in the mirror, and that's when I retired. It was after I won Miss USA. I had another competition coming up. And I remember looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I don't feel healthy and I don't feel sexy, and that's when I knew. Because I'm like, I feel like I don't look like a woman anymore because my chest was gone. And I've always had a chest, okay? So, anyway, but look, she's still here and thriving. And 17% body fat at 108 pounds is so good. It's so healthy. Like, I can't even express to you how important that is. And recently, actually, I will, let's a little side note over here. Recently, I did notice though that my muscle mass was deteriorating really quick. So I just got back to eating a lot of protein, lifting heavy, and we're back at it, baby. We're back at it. I have noticed that my butt has gotten smaller. So that is something that I am now currently working on, is focusing more on eating that protein and working out the glutes more and more, because I have been resting a lot more. But overall, woohoo, cheers all around. Yay. I'm just so proud of myself. And I have to give myself credit, because I'm telling you, 10 years ago in 2016, this was the goal. And here we are. Here we are, okay? So I hope this is encouraging for anyone that's listening. Is this takes time, okay? You have to put in the work. Now, the other thing too is I was reflecting even 20 years ago when I was 12 years young, and I still had this vision of myself. It looked a little different, but overall the essence is the same. It's the same. And I'm just like, wow. And I look back because I remember thinking, I'm like, how is that ever going to happen? How am I going to get there? Well, here we are, baby boo. Here we are. Now, the other thing too, so we got my health getting all checked in, right? So that was just the beginning of when I was 31, very beginning. And now, other things that are very different is my careers are solidifying. That feels fabulous, feels so good. It's just like fresh and brand new. And it's solid. It's solid. And that makes me feel so stable, so grounded. And that feels really, really, really good. And then another thing too is I now am actually keeping the weight off too. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And I am still microdosing. That will be for a next podcast. But yes, I cannot give the credit just to me, myself, and I. I am still microdosing the tirzepatide GLP-1, which I love. The other thing too is on a spiritual level, I have really, really broken ties, right? And rewiring a new legacy. And that is something else too that I have just been really, I'm just so happy to be alive. I'm so happy. And I might tear up because you need to take that time to really thank yourself and give yourself that grace of, wow, look how far you've come, right? And when things are super challenging, it's because you're meant to be that 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 change, right? Like, you are the black sheep and you're here to pick a different course, right? Stop the same cycles of that have been going on for who knows how long. And that can be hard, that can be lonely. But the thing is once you cross, you're just like, wow, we did it, right? You did it. So that feels really good. And another thing that's new is I now have a wonderful, wonderful women's circle, right? And that's something I've always wanted and craved since I was little. And now I genuinely have it. I have a good group of solid women, and they're so supportive and uplifting. And I'm so grateful for that. Another thing in December is I actually got Botox, and it all started with my TMJ. It started with my jaw, and I wish I would have done that sooner. And then in December, I actually got it for my forehead, and I got it on my face just a little bit, and I love it. But that will be a different podcast episode. We'll go all over that journey. So that's so exciting. And then the other thing too, that's been helping with my mental health. I went down this whole rabbit hole, and again, we'll talk about that later. But yes, so wellness, right? Like all these cool things that I'm doing. And then one piece of advice that I just wish I would have received earlier in my life is just as soon as you can, make it a priority to live by yourself. Take care of yourself. Know what it feels like to financially take care of yourself all alone with no help. Really do that for at least 1 year. And honestly, this would be my advice to even somebody that has a trust fund or has assistance from somebody. Just 1 year. Give yourself 12 months of doing it all by yourself. And I think that is the most beautiful thing a woman could do for herself. For me, it just helped me realize how capable I am. It's motivating, it's gratifying, and it really, really brought me to myself, but it also showed me how capable I am, right? And that's just been beautiful. And the other thing about turning 32 is just having this like moment of, again, being that black sheep, right? And just really wishing I had someone like me that I could look up to. And I'm probably going to cry again. Oh my gosh, I get so emotional. I'm just so happy. And I'm so proud because, again, I didn't have anybody. I had to break the mold, I had to break cycles. And to this day, I am all on my own. And it's one of those moments where it's so surreal, but it feels so good because I just keep thinking of the future, thinking of, I have a different vision, right? So like, okay, we got here, right? The past 10, 20 years, this was our goal. This life that I've manifested, the health, the body, the mindset, the friends, everything, the careers, the everything that I have ever hoped and dreamed for, it's here. It's here. The next stage in life, is that going to take me another 10, 20 years? Maybe. Or it could be a 5. I don't know. But just knowing that I am a role model for others in that case, and this is why I have this podcast, YouTube, like all my social media, is I wish I had somebody that I could look up to like this because no one was there to guide me. But you know what? In a way, that's a lie. I had my higher self, my future self, encouraging me the whole stinking way. So I guess what I can say just to end this podcast and go to the next episode is stay true to yourself. Really, really do whatever you can to just know what you're capable of, which I think personally the easiest way to do that is to live by yourself and financially take care of yourself for at least 1 year. And you're gonna see her. You're gonna see her come through. You're gonna see that best version of you. If you don't have a role model, if you don't have somebody like that, just know that it's not over. Don't let go of that inner voice, that image. I'm a visual person. I just kept seeing and feeling me being here, and here we are. Here we are. Thank you for listening to this episode. I'll catch you in the next one. Be healthy, feel sexy.